Arigato, my friends. Welcome. Oh, it's Konnichiwa, isn't it? Welcome back to the F1 Last to First Championship, where today we are racing around Suzuka as Yuki... Oh, God! As Yuki... The Japanese Alpha Tauri driver. So let's see what fairy tale we can write today for the small man here in qualifying. Hot lap time, and it's pretty voluptuous from Yuki Tsunoda, sliding a bit out of Degna 2 into the hairpin, taking it. Oh no! Oh God, that was so predictable.
Let me know you're okay.
Oh no! Yuki Tsunoda, so short of the mark, so close yet so far. He tries to correct the slide, but it's not enough. He decks it into the wall, and a small man once again has a chip off his old block. Towering over everybody else in qualifying, though, is this man, once again. Because who else would it be? Max Verstappen takes pole position again this season. It's a dominant display from the Red Bull man, although Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton doing very well indeed to get 2 and 3 in this session. My teammate in 14th is great. We're last. We are last, and you obviously saw in front of your very eyes as to what transpired. But let me give you a breakdown. Tsunoda saw that there was plenty of grip and biting into bitumen to be done into the hairpin. Unfortunately, Pirelli didn't make the tyres comply. So, for Yuki Tsunoda, it's aerodynamic gremlins. And, well, there's no excuse, really. It's just, we're last. It's a Saturday shocker from Yuki Tsunoda. It's true. However, luckily, we do have race day. 5 red lights in Pikachu's home country. Lights out and away we go, and Logan Sargent is bad. But enough about things you already know. We head down towards turn number 1, and it's actually not a great start comparative to the AI, despite being on the softs. But we switch back it on Joe and the Haas car straight away. Very opportunistic manoeuvre, and still on our outside. Now our inside is Hulkenberg. Bit of contact made, but still side by side between Assman. Still not done, but we squeeze him out, and that is already P17 in this race. Not exactly the most meteoric of starts, but it's a start nonetheless through the left-hander, and we're looking pretty punchy. Yes, we have gone for the contra strategy compared to most of the AI, gone for the soft tyres, where others might have gone for the mediums, go for the longevity early, and then plant the power down at the end. But we say that's tasty. Down the inside of 3 cars into the hairpin. We're taking no prisoners and switching back Oscar Piastri, and he looked incredibly slow, and that's why you saw it just there. His front right end plate has gone for a walk. And by a walk, it's gone to a different nation. However, going wide into Spoon, we're going towards a different nation. We're almost transcontinental with that particular adventure. So we get it all together again. Luckily, the gap to Piastri, about half a second. So as we go towards 130R, no problems at all. Oh my God, where's Piastri come from? From downtown, although he backs out of it. Wisely, he backs out of it because he knows he would have been minced into the Casio triangle. Called so because it looks nothing like a triangle. Already one hurl around this historic venue collates us being P13. Unlucky for some, but I'll tell you who wasn't unlucky. As the 5 red lights go out and we watch a replay of the start, it's Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari on the left of your picture. Carlos Sainz on the inside of Verstappen on the softs, and he takes the lead straight away of this race. Incredible from the Ferrari man. Supreme traction compared to the championship leader, Hamilton and Leclerc in the background, side by side, all the way through almost the S's. However, it's Leclerc using the momentum on the outside to his advantage and breezing past the 7-time world champion of Hamilton, who hasn't had the greatest run of things recently, found it a bit difficult. Here's someone else who's found it a bit difficult, Oscar Piastri, about to have his race turned upside down. On the inside, Lance Stroll, it looks like he's through. No, Stroll! What have you done? Stroll understeers into the McLaren man. That's why his front wing end plate was missing, and it's because Stroll is a bumbling fraud. The question is, am I wrong? And the answer is no. So out of the Spoon curve we go, getting an exit like a Spoon. Very slidey indeed. However, we are right under the slipstream of Valtteri Bottas. sucking up towards his rear end, because we're a saucy boy, and the overtake into the chicane looks promising as we send it on the brakes down the inside. It's a comfortable move on the Alfa Romeo driver, and it boosts us up to P12 now in this Alpha Tauri, where we're looking to gain as many points as possible to pry them off of last in the Constructors' standings. Our next target in that quest is one Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. These are dizzying heights. These are uncharted waters. I'm surprised I haven't got a nosebleed and been eaten by an actual shark. Luckily, land sharks don't exist, so next target is the Alpine man. We're looking racy. The move in the Casio Triangle is promising. No, we will not make the move into the Casio Triangle. That's the end of that particular eventuality. We are outside of a second of Bottas, though. That's the crucial thing. But I'm about to show you where we're beginning to struggle a little bit here. So in the slipstream, again, catching to Ocon a little bit with our DRS flap wide open for all the crowd to see. That's got me on a register, probably. But anyway, oh, no, Piastri! Oh, no! Near the spoon curves, as if Piastri's race couldn't get any worse for him. Front wing damage. Now he can't have any chance of getting into the points. But here's someone who's having a much, much more contrasting fortune compared to the McLaren man, and it's Max Verstappen. Slipstream into 130R. He's pulled to the inside of the Ferrari man. Sainz will not give this up. Still side by side into the Casio Triangle, and still it remains as Sainz using that inside line, but unfortunately for him, it will be Max Verstappen to once again in this season, for the 76th million time, he's in the lead of the Grand Prix. But Sainz with DRS, he's coming through. No, he doesn't. And aliens have taken over the camera as well. I can't believe this, honestly. Lap number 4, past the graveyard of Oscar Piastri's McLaren. In fact, while we're here, let's just mourn for him a sec. Okay, now that we've mourned for the Australian driver, now we've mourned our success, rather, let's go in the slipstream of Ocon, and let's make a sumptuous move. As we head through 130R, we feint to the outside line. Ocon thinks the threat isn't there. That's where he's mistaken. Down the inside, and the move is done on the Alpine, on the fringes of the top 10. Our next target is the Aston Martin driver of Lance Stroll, who's bad. So, without a shadow of a doubt, we're going to pikey the slipstream. Grip onto the grip. I don't know what I'm saying either, but we're going to overtake this man. End of lap number 6, and we're coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Yeah, nothing happened. Literally zilch happened. My tyres melted. If you put actual mercury on my tyres, it would have turned into a gas. And that says a lot, really. So into the pits we go. As you can see, Ocon right under our diffuser. The mediums crossover was absolutely lethal. Do we get a purple turn in? There's Ronaldo. Yes, we do. Into the pits. Get those tyres changed quickly, boys. Let's not muck around. Why are we waiting? What have you done? What have you done? No! Oh, for God's sakes, man. Are you actually serious? We're out behind Esteban Ocon. After all of that, and we're on the mediums. He's strapped on a new set of softs, and based on what the AI's like in this game, he's going to be on crack for the next 7 laps. In other words, for the rest of this race. So I'm really not looking forward to the rest of this stint. And as you can see through the S's, my misery is compounded. As we go through the left-hander, Ocon suddenly has grip in spades. No idea where he's got that tyre heating from. I get loads of understeer straight away, and it's goodbye Ocon. It is goodbye Ocon. You know what? Where's the nearest cliff, actually? No! Stop! Optimism Overlord is back in the building. Yes, we bottom out over Degna 2. That is not ideal. But we're going to watch some replays just to tide us over and regain our mental resilience. Out comes the Ferrari ahead of Hamilton, but that's fine. What is not fine is all the cars that have held him up. Hamilton's been absolutely ruined in the pit phase, and Aston Martin have got Fernando Alonso out ahead of the Mercedes man. So after all the work in qualifying, after being just on the fringes of the podium places, Hamilton is going to be well down on any potential big points in this race. It's a disgrace from the Mercedes team, and this is also why it's actually grown side pods as well, so that's fun. But the freer Brett, our Mercedes have been dealt an absolute sucker punch in 2 areas. Once in the gut, next in the testicles. And as you can see, it means that Russell is now behind Perez and Sainz, who he had literally just got ahead of. And there's Gasly. He's on the hards. He's on the hards. Right, we've won. You give him a lap. They've lost. Well done. What's the complexion of our race looking like, though? Here we are, surveying us from the helicopter shot, and Stroll is behind us. We've undercut the Aston Martin. Man, that is imperative. That is exactly what we needed to do. And at the end of lap number 8, Gasly, of course, on the hards, like I said before, Ocon cooped up behind him on his new softs, and we are suddenly feeling very punchy indeed. Our fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 30.3 on the mediums, no less, and we are suddenly cooking. Yes, we've been stuck behind Stroll all the way through the end of our first stint. Now we've been relieved of the pressure of having to stay with the Aston Martin driver, and now we've got to do it to the French connection, the two Alpines, the baguette munchers, the pan au chocolats, and believe me, they do flake under pressure. So through the left-hander, we're feeling confident. Let's hunt them down. I hate this game with a fiery passion. I'll explain why later. I've got no time to currently, because here comes Lance Stroll on his old softs. They should be cooked. We moved late to deter him, and luckily, for now, we do call the charge off the Canadian crocodile. It must be said, he's really snapping at our heels, though. And someone else who's snapping at another's heels is Sergio Perez. DRS, he's been stuck in the train for ages, but the Red Bull man does move up into second place. He will manage to limit the damage between himself and Verstappen in the championship. Sainz on the hards. It was almost inevitable. It was a textbook written to an A+ standard by the Mexican master of driving slow. It's the last lap of the Grand Prix. The AI are on crack on this track. I absolutely hate Japan on this game with a fiery, burning passion, and have done for the previous few. That's a spot of lawn mowing. Why? Jesus Lord above. And somehow, miraculously, we don't get a warning for that. Rather unmiraculously, Stroll and Bottas are now all over the back of us. So it's not over until it's over, they say, and it's a long ways to go. We're still only in Sector 1, just getting through the split now. And somehow we only lost half a second to our lap on the previous one, so that's not encouraging, really. Into the hairpin, though, one of our stronger parts of the track. This and the Casio Triangle seem to be where we gain the most time. Into the hairpin, the front end bites in beautifully, and we do gain a bit of time on Lance Stroll. We have to dump the battery, but we don't have much of it left. We've really exhausted the electrical energy in this AlphaTauri car, and it means the Aston Martin and the Alfa Romeo cars behind us are going to get very frisky indeed. It probably doesn't help I haven't driven Japan in about 3 months as well. So that's not great, but down the back straight we go. I don't know what I'm saying. Down to 130. Oh my God, Stroll's got nitrous. That's outrageous. He backs out of it though. He backs out. So luckily for us, we're going to keep the position, but I don't believe it. For the first time, we're not going to get points in a last to first. ERS to the line. It's P11 at the Japanese Grand Prix. And I can't really hype it up. I really can't. As much as I would love to, we have no front right wheel. That's one of the reasons why. But also because, I mean, driver of the day, you can console us all you want, but I feel angry. I feel weirdly upset.
That's it then for another fantastic Grand Prix here in Japan. A brilliant victory that has thoroughly earned the applause of the sellout crowd here today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They've performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Wow, Verstappen won again. No thoughts, head's extremely empty. Shakes the hand for an uncomfortably long time, but he does raise the trophy on top of the world here in Japan. And he does deserve it, really. He's been absolutely invincible all weekend. There's been no stopping the Red Bull driver. A brief hiccup at the start, but Sainz, that was the only challenge he could give the Red Bull man. Credit to Red Bull for the 1-2. Credit to Ferrari and Fernando Alonso for their incredible results. Well done to them. But I'm not going to talk about the rest of the top 10. I'm going to talk about how frustrating this race was for me. First stint, I picked the softs for good reason. Be quick out of the blocks, get the overtakes done, make the AI cry. Unfortunately, come the second stint, I was the one that was crying because despite the fact that the softs should have gone off about the 5th lap in, so lap number 11 or 12, I gained no time whatsoever. Literally 0 time. And I hate to say it, but the AI are still completely broken around Japan. Paying for Oscar Piastri, by the way. So, rip, I guess. Teammate finished in 15th as well. But as you can see, that margin between myself and my teammate, I don't think it's ever been that small in a last to first challenge ever, to be honest with you. I really don't. And that's what I mean, really. That epitomizes the struggles we went through. No pace, and in the end, it wasn't good enough for even a single point. So that's quite painful. But we'll look for redemption very soon as we head to the Qatar Grand Prix. Before we head off, though, as always, let's have a look at the Drivers' Championship standings. Max Verstappen, then, his lead over his teammate, now 124 points. Almost 5 race wins worth of a lead for the Red Bull driver. He is well on his way to securing his 3rd world title. What a season it's been from him, despite the hiccups, despite the aggression and foul play from some of the grid. He's done the job where he needed to. Perez, while he's being consistent now in that Red Bull, he should have been doing it earlier in the season. And that's why his teammate is simply so far ahead. Leclerc still keeping up with him well. It's the gap between Russell and Sainz that comes down to just 5 points. Hamilton in a no man's land. Alonso, though, extending the gap between himself and Lando Norris. Other than that, though, the positions, literally, no one's changed positions. It's all exactly the same as before, but all you need to know is that without AlphaTauri scoring, as we look at the constructors, again, nothing much has changed, especially at the bottom of the table. In Alpine's case, though, it's another 3 points that they can use to get away from the Haas team, although with their current results, that's not difficult. It's McLaren and Aston Martin, the big battle, though. 39 points the gap is increased to, with just one of each of their cars scoring points today. But Red Bull, my God, Red Bull, what an unassailable margin. I mean, I think they must have won the constructors. At least if they haven't now, it's very, very soon that they've done it. It's all Sergio's fault. It's the Mexican minister of driving really slow. But can anyone stop Red Bull or Max Verstappen in Qatar? Well, you'll just have to wait and see. Thank you very much for watching round number 17 of the F1 23 Last to First Championship. If you did enjoy this pain and suffering, then be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Really, if you haven't subscribed, do it. A lot of you still haven't, and I see you, and I will kill. But if you subscribe, your life will be spared. Will Max Verstappen win again in Qatar? Yeah. Just yeah. However, that remains to be seen. Until then, though, once again, I thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day. And until next time, I'll see you soon.